Got to do our fine jobs last night, and now we get to jump back in the saddle and call what should be another exciting game tonight.
Oh yeah, it's this is what high school sports is all about. Being able to come back to great games like this. This is a great series that Oxnard and Ventura have played over the years. It started in 1922, 1 year before the Santa Paula Fillmore series started.
Yeah, it's the oldest rivalry in Ventura County, although they're a few meetings shy of Santa Paula and Fillmore. I want to say it's about 8 meetings shy. But these two teams, it's been a while since both came in with just one loss. Both entered the game with a 4-1 record.
Yeah, they're both out to great starts. Ventura just had their first loss last week against a very good Camarillo team that we saw that game. It was 17-7 Camarillo. And Oxnard had a really close loss to San Luis Obispo. Boy, it just seems like every game that Oxnard's played lately, it's been a real, it's a 7 points or less decides the outcome.
Yeah, they've just about all gone down to the wire for this Oxnard team, with the exception of their opening contest against Santa Barbara. Even the 14-0 shutout of Quartz Hill was not an easy W for the Jackets. Oxnard went 3-7 last year. They missed the playoffs. It's not something that Mark Beckham is used to. What is different about this team this season, Deuce?
Well, it kind of looks like they have a little bit better passing attack than they've had in years. Pagano's had 1 year under, and he's throwing better. Last week he had probably a career game. He was 10 of for I think it was 137 yards, and he also rushed for 77. So what he brings to the field gives them an extra dimension. It's kind of like the Oxnard teams of the past, which played a great role mostly in the running game.
Yeah, I'm going to see the ball put in the air very much tonight. I think you made a remark in our pre-broadcast meeting, something along the lines of, we want incompletions tonight as we did last night, and we a lot of them. Both teams rarely throw the football. Oxnard far less than Ventura.
Right. Oxnard is averaging 60 plays per game, 50 of those rushing. They're averaging 289 yards per game rushing. Ventura is averaging 66 plays per game, and about 2/3 of that is rushing per game, and 237 yards rushing. So they both like to run the ball as a point of emphasis. Two great running backs, Tyler Peralta for Ventura and Raymond Caldera for Oxnard.
Raymond Caldera has really grown up, hasn't he? In his first 10 for all last season for Oxnard, had just over 800 yards, and since then in the 5 this season, more than 200 yards a game.
Yeah, he's over 1,000 yards already, and he's closing in on the 2,000-yard career mark. And Peralta, he's a guy who could be very explosive. He's a very tough running back. It's just going to be really good to see. It's kind of like a heavyweight bout between the two running games.
Yeah, I think Tyler Peralta obviously has a lot more to prove and a lot more to get done tonight. I wasn't disappointed in him last week. He just never got into his stride, did he?
Right. Just a great defense by Camarillo. They took a lot out of what Ventura likes to do. It's going to be interesting to see whether the Oxnard employs the same kind of defense. They have different personnel. It's going to hard to see whether they do that or they just kind of put 8 in the box and try to stop Peralta.
Yeah, I think that is the question. Do they make Tyler Smith throw? I mean, we've seen Tyler Smith do his thing through the air. Didn't have his best week last week. He had hardly turned the ball over, frankly, in his career, really going into last week's contest. And then he struggled through the air and made a lot of key mistakes.
Yeah, 4 interceptions is something that he hasn't done very often throughout his year and a half as a quarterback of Ventura High football team.
Tyler Smith, of course, the starting quarterback, as you mentioned, 4 picks against Camarillo. Career comes in with 16 touchdown passes, needs 95 yards to hit the 2,000-yard mark. Peralta did still, get it done on the ground. His numbers weren't horrible. He had 31 carries for 140 yards. Averaging, I know you have the figures. What is he averaging, and how many yards do you think he'll end up rushing for tonight? I should say how many times you imagine he'll end up carrying the football is what I meant to say.
Well, I think he's going to carry between 30 and 35 times. A lot depends on, who controls the ball. I mean, if there's if Oxnard's getting these long drives, and then all of a sudden these running backs' totals may drop because the time of possession limits the times that you carry the ball. But you would think that he's he's had 13 straight games of 100 yards or more rushing. You think on an average night he's going to carry 30, 35 times, and he's going to gain, 200 to 250 yards.
And would you imagine the same thing will happen for?
Yeah, it's the same kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think so. The only problem for Oxnard really is that they really struggle to throw the football, especially when they get down. They can't throw the football. It's harder for them to run the 2-minute drill. Dalton Pagano, obviously, he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass all season. It's just a little bit different running this offense than it was when Daz Stewart was in charge. That's not to say Dalton Pagano won't emerge as a stronger quarterback. They just don't have that downfield dimension they did with Daz Stewart and Jamal Smith.
Well, I think where they can gain their yards passing is, some play fakes, where they faked it into the line to Caldera, and Pagano steps back and gets somebody maybe loose downfield. But they're not going to have I wouldn't think that they would have a real solid design passing game where they throw the ball 5 or 6 times in a row in a series.
He is 28 of 58, 302 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks on the season, but he had a career passing game last week. 10 of 16, 136 yards against West Ranch in that win over West Ranch, and he had 13 carries for 77 yards. So it was a career week last week for Dalton, the junior.
I'd read the story. One of the big things in that game is that Oxnard gambled on 4th down, I think, like 5 times, and that's one thing that Oxnard coach Mark Beckerman has done over the years. He is not afraid to roll the dice in tough situations.
Beckham loves to. Oxnard Jackets will receive this kickoff. It'll be taken from the 12-yard line. Working to the right side, a lot of space for the return man up to the 25-30, and it's brought ultimately up to the 36-yard line. Jay Dunham on the return. And that's where Oxnard will start from. Decent starting field position. And field position's an important factor in a game like this, isn't it? We certainly learned that was the case last night.
It certainly was. Westlake was doing well. I mean, they were starting on the 40 or better, and for a long time it was Modern Day was starting on its 20 or worse.
Let's introduce you to some of these Oxnard starters momentarily. Here's Caldera on the opening carry. Look at him bounce off a tackler, carry another, and pick up 7 yards on the opening run. For Oxnard, we'll see a number of blockers and possible pass catchers shuffled in and out. Blake Kilgore, Daniel Barboza in the tight end spots. At the moment, Max Vasquez and Vincent Rodriguez will both see time at the fullback position. Spencer Santiago can be used as a wide receiver. Jacob Tinoco is the most potent wide receiving target for this Oxnard team. It is Vincent Rodriguez at the fullback spot in the standard I formation. Give is to Caldera, and Caldera is hauled down right at the line of scrimmage. I think he got it.
They got a first down, yeah. They look at his forward motion. They dragged him back, but he definitely got a first down.
First down for Oxnard, and they move the chains just 3 yards shy of midfield now.
Well, Ventura's definitely has 8 guys in the box. I mean, they know that Oxnard is not going to throw very often, so they're willing to gamble on one-on-one coverage with the wide receivers.
Oxnard in the eye, of course, and Caldera with plenty of space. He gets 5 yards, and Oxnard is beyond midfield. Cole Houghton helped on the tackle. Let's go through the starters for the Cougars. Cameron Reed, Cole Houghton, Kiave, and Isaac Hernandez along the D-line. Let's talk about the linebackers. Nothing but good things to say last week, ultimately for Ventura, losing 17-7. Keenan Moran, brilliant as a pass defender. Michael Lugo, the inside linebacker, and I believe that's Brandon Gooding out there on the near side, the sophomore. I know he was shuffled in and out. We'll get to the defensive backs after this play. Not that they'll have too much to do with another nice carry.
Close to the first down.
Yeah, may have gone for a first down. You just have to love the way he runs. He just grabs onto that football with 2 hands and just buries his head in the line, picks up a first down there.
31 staff.
Wow, unreal. And I completely agree with you. The defensive backs, 5 of them will be used in total for Ventura. Brendan Cameron, Anthony Thompson, senior Colgamole, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Tommy Grossman, Josh Januska, and at some point we'll probably see the backup quarterback, Rico Stubbs, gives to the fullback, and Houghton is there to make the tackle. Forward for a yard or 2 to Vincent Rodriguez.
Number 48, Vincent Rodriguez, stop for no gain.
Nope, it'll be no gain. 2nd and 10.
Well, that just kind of shows you how much of a superior runner that Peralta is. I mean, he just really gets off the blocks really quick.
Caldera, you're saying?
Caldera. I'm sorry.
No, we'll confuse him a little bit tonight. And not that they're similar runners, but they're going to be the guy.
Yeah.
They are in some ways similar, north-south kind of guys. Fullback give. Again, no, it's
nice
an
pitch.
Option pitch
Nice
to Caldera.
pitch.
Outside the 30, Caldera. Hard to bring down the boy. And looks like another first down for the Oxnard Yellow Jackets. Move those chains. He's certainly impressed in the way he's run the football. And Oxnard is in business. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
Already 34 yards rushing. 5 carries.
This is going to be a grinded out kind of game. Glad you're tuning in now. Who knows how quickly it'll be over. We might be out of here by 8:30. Pagano, inside give, and that's where the fullback. No, Pagano still has it on a keeper. What a fake by Pagano. The entire Ventura defense bit, as did your broadcast team. And Oxnard is out in front 6-0. Boy, he is really tricky with that option give. Best I've seen him play in his career. Impressive play from Pagano. He didn't have you fooled, did he?
Watch the guy who was going to the right, and he just kept going.
Really impressive.
Everybody bid on the what they thought was going to be the handoff.
I did. David Garcia puts it through, and Oxnard leads 7-0. That opening drive says a lot about their intent to run the football up the middle, I think, and then mix in the option. It wasn't an option look on the first 4 or 5 plays. It was just, for the most part, a typical dive play.
Boy, he had that one really good pitch to the right side to Caldera, who picked up 11 yards for the first down on 2nd and 10. And then he faked the kind of pitch to get himself with the touchdown.
7-0.
7 plays, 64 yards. That was sweet. It's what they want to do all night, just out-physical you.
And they did. Ventura players were there in multiple instances to make the tackle at the point of impact. Used a lot of times last night in regards to the way Westlake defended Mater Dei's run game. Cougars just couldn't bring him down. Here's Garcia to kick away. It's a short kick, and it's recovered by the Cougars. They will start with solid field position, 2-yard line.
Boy, hard to tell whether that was by accident or by design.
It was dangerous one way or another. Kickoff only goes 18 yards in total, and the Cougars in their all-white uniforms with white numbers and white pants. Tim Garcia, head coach, I hope you're listening. What in the world is the commentary team and the public address announcer supposed to do? Should be rules against this sort of thing.
CIF ought to do something about it. It's just,
I mean, you can't see anything.
well, I mean, it's for the fans and the media.
Derry, forget about the fans. What about us, man? Here's a gift to Peralta. We are fans at heart, and Peralta picks up a first down and a whole lot more. Inside of the 30-yard line now. Takes down a tackler, and Peralta answers Oxnard's rushing attack in a play. Almost down to the 20-yard line.
Number 34, Tyler Peralta.
Well, anything you can do, I can do just as well.
Well, you might see quite a bit of that, yeah.
32 yards on the carry.
Nice carry from Peralta. The Cougars have one wide receiver near side, and they give it to Peralta again. He picks up 5 yards. We talked about Tyler Smith and Tyler Peralta. Zach Sauerwein, one of the leading wide receivers for this Cougar team. Chase Gardner, dangerous as a wideout, occasionally used as a slot back. Josh Januska, Roger Palacios, Alex Hurlbut. All players we'll see. We'll get to the starting offensive line momentarily. Quick throw to Sauerwein. It's tipped at the line for the Cougars. Austin Litton, the junior. Ruben, also a junior. Zeke Ortega and Jackson Steiner at the center and left guard spots, respectively. And then Jared May, the senior left tackle. 4 juniors on the line for Ventura. 3rd and 8 now. Sauerwein and Tommy Grossman. The wideout set to the far side of the field. It will be a give. It's fumbled. Picked up by Oxnard, it looks like. We'll wait for the official signal. Yellow Jackets say they have it. Oh, no. Cougar leaves the pile with the football. Ventura ball. Okay. 4th down.
Boy, it looked like the guy never even had a chance to get the ball.
These are the type of mistakes that this Ventura team was not making when they went on this nice little run earlier in the year. Big win over Rigetti, doubled up, did the same to Rio Mesa, and then slowed down Saugus. Big-time attack in a 48-14 win.
Looks like a 36-yard field goal attempt.
Tristan Kantak on to attempt it. Sauerwein to hold. And this one is truer than the last field goal attempt we saw, which was the conclusion of last night's game. Get a chance to go back and look at the video. There was a lot of debate going on the interweb. I think Joe Curley was the lead instigator as to whether or not that kick was tipped or, officially blocked or shanked or the hold was wrong. I mean,
I think it was a bad snap from center.
Snap was fine. It was. I gotta hand it to our guy, at least in my opinion, okay? I gotta hand it to our guy, the lock, because everyone's looking for how to describe that play. And Lauren said it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It wasn't really blocked. He said it was tipped in his story, and I think that was right.
Well, that's the same. Hey, it had to be more than just, if it was tipped, that thing would have kept on going.
I think to me, I agree with you. I think to me the trajectory on the kick might have been a little low. Robledo could have done more maybe to get it over the line of scrimmage. Still having a couple technical difficulties here. We hope you stick with us while we sort out these issues here in the opening quarter. Caldera fumbles the backwards pitch, scoops it up, knocked out of bounds. Definitely should have gone to the play fake. I'm just saying.
Well, it was just a bad pitch.
He didn't have much of a chance to haul that in. Either way, Oxnard only loses a yard, so it's 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
23 minutes past 7 and less than 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter on this game of the week on 3rd and 2. A lot of room for Caldera.
First
and
down.
He picks up the first down. I think that's the difference that we've noticed so far, is that in the tight situations, Oxnard is able to create some space and get a first down.
Well, they're really finding some room along the left side of the line, right through the left tackle.
And if you have a look, that is the lightest player on the Ventura defensive line that they're going at. I believe it's Hernandez. I just can't see any of the players' numbers with these white-on-white uniforms. Oxnard right up the middle. A yard, maybe 2. You're absolutely right about that left side for Oxnard. They're really getting a big push.
12 carries already for Caldera.
If he carries the ball here, he'll be on pace for more than 50. That couldn't happen, could it? It's Rodriguez.
It's only happened once before.
In the history of the world?
County.
In Ventura County, and who was that?
I forgot who it was. The guy had 54 carries.
And you don't remember who it was? You're the Deuce.
Everything. I remember the record's 54.
We're going to need someone to check on that. Rhiannon, John Catalini, do us a favor and let us know who holds the record for 54 carries. Are any of these Ventura County football records digitized?
Joe Curley is in the process of doing.
I thought that was top secret information.
Well, I think it's just going to be for.
I'm only joking. Complete on 3rd down, Caldera. He gets a first down for Oxnard. And
a late flag.
Was there a late flag?
Yeah.
A keen eye. Thank you, Derry. Now, if this goes against the defense for a late hit or anything along those lines, will we have one untimed down? Personal foul against Oxnard. That will conclude the first quarter of play here at Oxnard High School on the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel. Danny Page and the Deuce, Derry Eads. Again, we've had some technical difficulties, but a fun and entertaining contest so far between Oxnard and Ventura as we move to the second quarter.
Move fast.
It has moved fast.
It's kind of like we thought it would be, just a lot of running between Caldera and Peralta. But Oxnard's offense has just really kind of dominated this first quarter. The time possession must be really one-sided.
We do that statistic up here, unfortunately.
Well, Ventura's only had 7 plays.
Wow. Have they really? Maybe 8. No? Because they went for it on 4th down?
That's right.
First
that
down.
was 3 and 8. So that was, 8 plays.
Yeah, a first down run for Peralta. And then 3 and out, basically. And that was followed by a 4 and out.
20 plays for Oxnard.
20-7. And the field position has hugely favored the Cougars.
Yep.
So Oxnard goes back to work after the personal foul penalty. I'm not sure if that means it will be first down and 25.
Must have been a post-play foul.
It was.
Because they gained first down on play.
First play of the second quarter, Pagano rolling out, looking to throw. And that's intercepted. Picked off by Tommy Grossman. And Ventura takes over. Pagano puts it in the air, and it's his 5th interception of the season. He has a nice zip on the ball, but he just missed his man, and that's a big pick for Grossman.
Good call. I like the call.
I do too. And like I said, when he throws, it has a nice trajectory. The running game's trajectory is downward at this point. Ventura's ability to run the ball has been limited with the exception of the first carry of the game.
Well, I think they need to kind of open it up to the passing game.
Smith to do exactly that. Puts it downfield for Grossman, and it's off Grossman's hands. He needed to come down with that one, and after just hauling in an interception, can't bring in that pass. More than 40 yards downfield. The throw from Smith was on the money.
Looks like Ventura's trying to pick up the pace of their rhythm a little bit.
Can't hurt. To throw again, a screen pass for Peralta. Will need to run to the right side if he can get the first down, and he cannot. Great play, the defensive tackle trailing. Andre Bellamy's a starting offensive lineman as well. Big play from big number 76 with the big hair. Ventura punts again.
Well, should be great field position for Oxnard again.
Oxnard will take over just on the other side of midfield, 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. It's rare on these Game of the Week broadcasts, Terry, that I am amazed. I'm truly amazed. One viewer chimed in and told us. His name is Antonio. Antonio, what is up, man? He answered the question about the county record for carries. It was Scott Zander of Newberry Park. The year was 1983. The opponent was Muir, and Rhiannon Potke has confirmed it. Antonio, way to be, my friend. On the option, Caldera left side. Caldera loses the football.
Oh, they said his
late.
knee was down.
Yeah, his knee was down. Nice gain for Caldera. He just sort of slides along the grass to pick up maybe an extra yard. They're just getting positive yardage in the run game, and Ventura is not.
Well, they're maintaining possession of the ball and just limiting Ventura's opportunities.
You have to like what you see so far if you're a Yellow Jacket fan. Vincent Rodriguez carries. He gets about 2 yards, 3rd and 5. This is always an interesting game for me. And in my household, I'm a graduate of Ventura High School, class of 2002. Since that time, since the turn of the century, I want to say, the last 15 years, maybe more than that, my dad's been a teacher at Oxnard High School. Mr. Page. We would always, when I was in high school, we'd love to talk trash going in. And a big play defensively for the Cougars on 3rd down and 5.
So when you call him Mr. Page also?
I don't call him Mr. Page. But, you know, you would appreciate Mr. Page for the reason that he brought back the school newspaper here at Oxnard. And they've been doing the buzz for 5, 6, 7 years, I want to say. A quality high school journalism outlet. As the snap is high for Bragano, penalty flag down. It looks like it's against Oxnard. At least that's what Ventura says. What? Deuce, you didn't know that that's why at the high school journalism conferences I'm slipping you like an extra sandwich so you can vote for the buzz?
You weren't even there last time.
I wasn't there last year. I think I was away with Time Warner. It was in March last time around. And
yes, it was.
We had the high school basketball championship.
Hey, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, the penalty's actually against Ventura, and it's 4th and 1.5 yards, we'll say. Like you said, Oxnard went for it 5 times on 4th down in last week's win. A 3-back set, 2 fullbacks to block. Caldera's the deep back, Pagano under center. The give is Caldera. Who wins at the line of scrimmage? It is
1st down, I think.
A razor-thin margin. I think we're going to need a measurement. Oh, First down. So the penalty and the fourth down conversion. Ventura playing very much un-Cougar-like football. And it's 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. The authority with which Oxnard is running it, I'm really enjoying it. We haven't seen them control the line of scrimmage like this maybe in a couple years. And maybe all that's missing is one of those, great fullbacks. Vincent Rodriguez totes the ball again, and he's coming along. He's done a nice job blocking as well, but Caldera seems to be the more than the lead running option. He's the guy you have to go to on the ground. And the give
Pagano
stays with Pagano, pardon me. And Pagano gets first down. Ever improving with that option, isn't he?
He really is. He's got 43 yards.
Interception to his name, but Ventura unable to do anything with it. Another 3 and out. And in a lot of ways, we're talking about the offense and the way Oxnard's running the football as we approach the 7.5-minute mark. That's what the defense is doing for the Yellow Jackets. Inside handoff, Caldera. Caldera just charges ahead, another 6 yards. It's always interesting and fun looking back, isn't it, at some of the great Yellow Jacket running backs over time. Terrell Watson, that 2,900-yard season.
Grant Weiss. Aaron Brown.
The list really goes on and on and on, doesn't it? Will Caldera be the next in line? I say yes. What does he do on this play? Nice cut back and then
first down.
Move straight ahead. He's always falling forward, Derry. He's always moving in the positive direction to pick up more yardage.
Feet keep moving. Once again, he's found something to the left side of the line that just gets him that extra seam to rush. Looks like he was short on it, so he gained 4.
3rd and 1. I have a couple names from the past for Oxnard from you as soon as we get out of this. It is the fullback running, and he needed a yard. He may have only gotten a half yard. Yep. Very close to the first down.
I think he was short.
A couple of my favorites here at Oxnard. Sam McCowan, and then a really outstanding fullback and linebacker, Henry Fernandez.
Well, he was great.
Just a great kid for us to cover, too.
Great linebacker. He just had a lot of heart.
Caldera, left side. Caldera gets the first down.
Yep.
How many times have they gone for it on 4th down now? Has it just been the 2?
Yeah.
Or were there other instances prior? I don't recall.
No.
St. Bonaventure is back on track, heading into next week's showdown. On VCS Preps, 28-0, they lead Garces. Inside give, no, it's Pagano on the keeper. Really having trouble keeping track of the football. I don't think I'd be a good linebacker. That's the only reason why, too. Second and 12 for Oxnard. It's almost halftime, Derry. Oxnard leading 7-3, and they'd love to head to halftime with that kind of advantage.
Nice pitch.
Great pitch to Caldera. Caldera gets 3 or 4. He'll be marked out of bounds, and the clock will stop.
21 carries already.
On his way for at least 40 carries and 200 yards. We'll have the exact at halftime, at least from Derry's point of view. So 3rd down and 10 now. The score only 7-3, but Oxnard much more in the game. Great blitz, and that one's Cougars running back the other way. Streaking down the sideline as Caldera comes in and makes the tackle the other side of midfield. Pagano's 2nd pick. And the ball was lost late in the play, but it goes back to Ventura.
He was hit from behind.
Cougars in great position.
As he's getting ready to throw, and he was hit from behind, and he just barely got it out.
Absolutely right, Derry. So that's 2 picks in the quarter. It was the pressure that really forced the interception, not a poor throw.
Yes.
The ball only traveled a couple of yards. Hit from the backside. Now Ventura's in business. 1st and 10 on the Oxnard 47. Great starting field position. Working from the pistol. Smith rolls right, steps up in the pocket. Now forced to run, and he'll be sacked. Sacked a good 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. This Oxnard defense just smothering Ventura's attack. And we're going on, nearly 6 quarters where the Cougars have produced only the 1 touchdown. Oxnard gave up 6 points in their first 2 games. Since then, they've given up about 20 a game. But the defense is smothering Ventura's ground game. 3 yards from Perot. Ventura back to the original line of scrimmage.
And another 3rd and long.
It's been the story of the night. Smith has struggled to throw the ball well. Grossman, the near side wide receiver. Play fake, and they'll throw a middle screen.
Oh,
Grossman.
nice play.
He's eaten alive by Josh Cervantes. Senior read that the whole way, and Ventura forced to punt away. Another great stand from Oxnard. They keep giving the Cougars great field position, and they keep turning them away. And it all has started on 1st down. That ball takes a big Ventura bounce and will be downed
inside the 5.
Yeah, right around the 5-yard lines where it will be spotted. That's where Oxnard will begin. Seems like that's been their field position all night, and Ventura's been starting in Oxnard territory most of the night.
Boy, Ventura just has 9 yards on his last 3 possessions.
And how many yards outside of that long carry to start the game from? About 11 or 12?
No, 4, 5, 8.
8 yards total. Unreal. Cougars held at this point under 50 yards. Can't make a mistake for Oxnard, who's backed up against their own end zone.
You know, outside that first running attack.
First play.
The first play.
Yeah.
That's been it.
I do understand why they're running the football. It's simply because they can't allow Oxnard to run and run and run again. They have to. Ventura has to assert themselves on the ground just to make sure that their defense isn't out there for the entire game.
Well, but you can do that with the pass, too.
I just think they want to keep the clock running when the Oxnard defense is on the field. Rhiannon Potke with a great nugget of information per usual. Sacramento State senior linebacker Henry Fernandez and Montana State senior tight end T. Salanoa will play against each other tomorrow night in a Big Sky game. The two grew up playing together at Oxnard High and, of course, Pop Warner. That'll be a fun game for those two young men. Montana State and Sac State. Timeout on the field. Just heard a nice advert in the stadium for Tri-Tip. You know, I haven't had a Tri-Tip sandwich yet this season. We had a great chicken Caesar salad last night at Westlake. We don't have a St. Bonaventure home game on the schedule either. Obviously, Todd Fenwick.
Or a Nordhoff home game. Great Tri-Tips
right,
at Nordhoff High.
Right. I don't know where to go. Maybe in the playoffs. Maybe we'll schedule our playoff games around, you know, where we can get the best slice of meat. It was a good spread at Westlake. Chicken Caesar salad, perfect.
I enjoyed my crackers.
Yeah, you stuck with the crackers.
Why are you laughing?
I just don't get it. Good salad there, some vegetables.
But they never have Thousand Island dressing.
Oh, that's your thing. Then I totally understand. I'll bring it in my pocket next time.
If I ever go to dinner or something, if they don't have Thousand Island dressing,
it's not happening. Running to the left side, Pagano. Picking up a big gainer on 3rd down and 5. Pagano holds on to it again and gets 26 for a first down. Jackets. Ventura had taken that timeout, and Oxnard getting a first down. And a long one at that.
Boy, another big long run by Pagano.
He came into the game
67 yards.
He came into the game with only 145 on the season. Only 96 the year before.
77 last week.
But just 241 for his career. He's a quarter of the way to that in the opening half of this one game. Pagano with the pitch. Caldera, nifty toss. Boy. And Caldera's all down right at the line of scrimmage.
Caldera turned about a 3-yard loss into back to the line of scrimmage.
Pacifica's leading Santa Barbara 7 to the second quarter. D'Angelo has hit Darnay Holmes for a touchdown. That's a shocker. 14-0 in the second quarter. And Notre Dame, Sherman Oaks, and Oaks Christian are even at 7. Yeah, you want to talk about a revenge game. I know that was a couple years ago. But Oaks Christian missing the extra point to send the game to over. Brandon Dawkins' junior season, you remember that one?
Yep.
That one has to sting a little bit. Camarillo winning last night. St. Bonaventure on their way to winning tonight. The two will meet. Private school, public school soiree in the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel PM from Cam High next Friday. The Game of the Week, as I mentioned, presented by AAA Travel. It's a good reason to remind you that for all your vacation needs, visit your local Ventura County Auto Club office in Ventura, Camarillo, Thousand Oaks, or Simi Valley, or visit AAA.com/travel. The game, of course, brought to you as well on VCStar.com, by VCStar.com. That's because it's your local news site. Nowhere else can you find the most comprehensive and up-to-date news, sports, and entertainment. It's all about what's happening in your city and your neighborhood. Here's what's happening at Oxnard High. Pagano looking to throw downfield, and it's out of bounds. Didn't have a target open, just sailed it to the near side.
Got to lane 3 of the track.
Not bad. I thought he might go straight into the stands with it even. Kind of a wild throw from Pagano. 3rd down and 10. 2 timeouts left for either side. And you're at that point where if Oxnard runs the ball and they punt to Ventura, the Cougars will definitely take.
Well, you got to think that Ventura's got to be, as bad as things have gone for Ventura, they're still down to only 7-3.
Nice little pitch pass to Caldera. Caldera stays inbounds, but Caldera does not get the first down. Tim Garcia will use his second timeout. Absolutely, Derry. They've done nothing right offensively. They have really been run all over, but 2 big interceptions in their own territory have prevented Oxnard from being at least 2 scores in front.
Yep.
Maybe even 3.
Timeout on the field called by the Cougars.
Boy, Ventura's got to find something to do offensively. You know, last week they kind of really struggled to really kind of get something going. You know, Peralta had 100 yards rushing, but outside of that, they had the 4 interceptions, and you wonder whether the 4 interceptions are carrying over to this week, where they're just maybe a little tentative in their passing game.
It seems slow to me, the Ventura passing game. Whether it's the screen passes or, some of the routes receivers are running, they don't seem to have the right rhythm. Have you recognized that?
Yep. Well, that one, the Grossman over here, that just off his fingers.
High punt from Pagano. Goes out of play. How far downfield? 24 yards. And Ventura starts from there. Call it
40-yard line.
20 yards. 1st and 10, Ventura from the 40. Yeah, Derry, I think that the one thing missing from this Cougar passing game also, just little 6-7 yard hitch routes to the sideline. We haven't seen any easy throws for Tyler Smith over these last couple weeks. It's always complicated.
Timeout. Wow.
Oxnard decided to take a timeout. Change things up. Mark Martinez, as you see, huddling together his Yellow Jacket players. The defensive coordinator for the Oxnard Yellow Jackets is Mark. He's a Ventura graduate. I would think you remember him.
Yep. His
brother Richard, starting linebacker.
Richard, I think, was a freshman. Wasn't he on the varsity as a freshman?
He was on varsity as a freshman, and ultimately was a big part of that championship-winning team in the year 2000. Richard was a junior. In fact, Richard is also class of 2002, as I was at Ventura. And Richard's one of those guys that is a mean, nasty linebacker, but the guy was always a big teddy bear. He's a really nice guy, positive attitude, great person to be around. But when the Martinez boys stepped on the football field, look out. Joe was the head coach at Wainimi, and he went along to Arizona. Is this a backward pass?
Double pass.
To throw. Receiver open downfield and complete for the Cougars. 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Zach Sauerwein connects with Roger Palacios, and Ventura's in the red zone for the 2nd time tonight. So it's not Tyler Smith throwing the football, it's Sauerwein. And the Cougars inside the 20.
Nice call. Big double pass. They've done that over the years. Just to get something
right.
going.
Yeah, sprinting right is Smith. Smith throws toward the end zone. Overthrown. Nearly intercepted by Cervantes, who's made a couple nice defensive plays.
Number 21, Josh Cervantes.
But again, you sprint him out to the right. It's not an easy throw, is it?
No, I mean, there's 2 defenders in that area. In fact, the Oxnard guy jumping up almost had that interception.
Referees are conferring about some sort of issue. There is no penalty flag on the play. And we'll move ahead with 2nd down, 35 seconds to go. 3 wide receivers to this near side for Tyler Smith. Here for Ventura to run the no huddle because they're a no huddle team. And with blitz coming, a Cougar player flinched. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or maybe it should be 1 step forward, 2 steps back is more like it for the Cougars.
Well, that's just not a mistake you can make at this juncture. I mean, you have a chance to go ahead in the red zone.
Yeah, you get such a nice long gain, and then yet again it's negated. Smith forced to step up. He throws the post route, and that's complete.
Oh, fumble.
The ball's fumbled. Who comes up with it? Loose at about the 6-yard line, and Oxnard's returning it this way is Dunham. Dunham all the way up to the 41-yard line. A scoop and preventing a score. Dunham on the spot. And Ventura denied again. Huge defensive play for the Jackets.
Boy, it was a big hit because it looked like he was open, and it was a strip that bounced off of him.
The Oxnard defender, I think, came in from behind and ripped that sucker out.
Well, the ball went about 4 or 5 yards.
And no
It was
one
up
picked
for
it up.
grabs.
It bounced around.
It took forever for people to jump on it.
Thought Dunham might take that to the house. Pagano throwing a deep route near side.
Oh!
Bounces into the hands of the Oxnard wide Santiago, then off the back of the Cougar defender Januska, and then back to Santiago, but he can't haul it in. 12.8 seconds remaining. We've seen Ventura the last 2 weeks, and 34 points between the two teams over the last 6 quarters. Pretty low-scoring affairs for what we see these days. Certainly a lot fewer points than we'll see next week, let's put it that way. And the following week, Newbury Park, Westlake. Pagano looking to throw again. Way downfield, why not take a shot? Time for one more play, 5.6 seconds left. That was intended for Jacob Tinoco. He's averaging 31.2 yards a catch, although he only has 9 catches on the year. Why not do it one more time?
Sure.
No big deal.
I think your 8:30 end of game is not going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be a standard, conclusion time, about 9 o'clock. 9:15 maybe. Pagano on the option to Caldera. Caldera makes contact, picks up 8 yards, and that brings to a close the opening half of play as the Oxnard Yellow Jackets make the right plays at the right time. They are the only team to cross the goal line, and they lead Ventura 7-3 on the VCS Preps game AAA Travel. We'll take a break for halftime and see you on the other side with the conclusion of this contest. This is the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel. Danny Page and the Deuce Dairy Eads. The Ventura Cougars do much fanfare from their fans, and they might need the help. They trail 7-3 as we head to the second half, and as I bring in my broadcast partner, the Deuce Dairy Eads, they just haven't had what it takes to win football games these last 2 weeks, at least not to this point.
They've just really struggled to get their offense going, particularly their running game. Peralta just has 8 carries for 45 yards. A lot of it's just that Oxnard's had the possession of the ball, the bulk of the first half. They've had 42 plays to Ventura's 17.
Well, for Ventura, there were 2 successes, basically, right? When you look at it, the trick play, the wide receiver pass, and then Peralta's first run of the game.
You take away those 2 plays, and Ventura has just 26 yards on 15 plays.
Why do you think they've struggled in that regard? Why have the Cougars been unable to move the football as the Yellow Jackets confidently strut onto the field instead of run on?
Looks like Tyler Smith has just lost some confidence in the passing game. He's very tentative out there as opposed to what we've seen in the past. Has some confidence, has some good tempo to it, and you had alluded to that before, that their tempo is just really slow.
Every throw he's being asked to make, to me, has been and when your quarterback is in a bit of a funk, when he needs some help, that's not what you should be doing. That's not the way you should be going about your offense. But that's exactly what Ventura's done. They are continuing to try and run the ball with Peralta, but Smith just hasn't had any easy throws.
No, they definitely need to give him something to get some confidence. The 4 interceptions may be part of him losing some confidence, but yeah, you're right. They need to kind of give him some screens or something just to kind of get the ball moving and, get some and maybe they'll bring him around. He is a good quarterback. We know that for sure.
This almost feels in some ways like a season-defining drive, this opening drive. This is a Ventura team that started 4-0 that thought if they won last week they could go 10-0 into the postseason. And falling to 4-2 would, even if they were able to repeat as league champions, it would certainly drop them from their status as favorites in the league, and it would make their postseason road a lot more difficult if they were.
Well, in fact, you maybe only get a 4 seed in the division for the playoffs instead of maybe a 2 seed.
This one booted diagonally toward Grossman, who picks it up at the 5. Grossman working his way to the middle of the field, and he gets just beyond the 20-yard line, and that's where the Cougars begin.
Maybe Grossman is the guy who they need to kind of get more in the game. Looks like he's made some plays. And Sauerwein, he's not, except for that one long pass, he really hasn't been involved in the offense either.
Absolutely, Derry. And Tommy Grossman's someone who entered the game 16 catches, 263 yards. Sauerwein, 21 catches, 305. These guys just haven't had a chance to stretch the field today. It's almost like Ventura is allowing Oxnard to defend them the same way they defend Oxnard. Here's Gardner on a little inside handoff. This is
a little talking.
Yeah,
back and
getting
forth.
into it a little bit. This is a rivalry game. This is a Pacific View League, Channel League battle. But how about this upset brewing between Santa Barbara and Pacifica? 20-6, the Dons lead the Tritons, the unbeaten Tritons.
Well, the Tritons put a lot of points on the board every game this season, it seems.
Except for tonight. There you go. Easy throw for Smith. Grossman. Well, Tim Garcia must be listening to us, and he picks up the first.
Hey.
Are we calling the plays, man? What's the word here?
That looks good. That's the probably outside the one pass at about the 1 yard line that was fumbled. That was probably his best pass.
Same
there we
thing
go.
again to
Nice
Grossman.
little screen.
And Grossman gets another first down. Strong start here for the Cougars. Couple screen passes right in a row. And less than a minute in, they're almost up to midfield.
Well, they're having the chains. They're a little reluctant.
They're not used to it when Ventura has the ball.
What's the deal?
4 wide now for Tyler Smith. Takes this from the pistol, throwing more confidently. There you go. Easy throw. And another first down, perhaps more for Januska. Januska scooting to the near side. Stiff arm and hauled down from behind at the 26. Ventura opening up the playbook, providing some easy throws for their junior quarterback. And the Cougars are right on the edge of the red zone yet again.
This is the Ventura team we know.
Teams do get in funks at some point in the season. Let's see if they can get out of it. Going for Januska, and that's overthrown. Januska really, I should say, was open. Ran that underneath post, and Cervantes was there on the coverage.
Peralta was not in the backfield on that play. He's out as a receiver. Lone back.
No back.
Quarterback.
Lone quarterback. Motion man Januska. They hand off to Januska.
That's the third time they've run that play.
Fly sweep. Holding penalty will bring this one back. It was utterly apparent. Probably a 3rd and 10. Excuse me, 2nd and 20 or 3rd and 10. That's the option for Mark Beckham. They'll take it.
Yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
it would be like a 3rd and about 4 or 5.
Oh, he did end up picking up that about a half dozen yards. So, yes. Second and 20, approximately, is what the down should be. Perhaps a little bit more than that, the holding penalty on that fly sweep, I'd call it. Sets Ventura back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Yet again.
Peralta now in the backfield.
And you need him on 2nd and 23. Play fake Peralta. Ventura looking to stretch the field. Smith flush. He's going to run. Needs to pick up a block, trying to get past Caldera. And he's tackled easily
about 5 yards
by Caldera. And Eric Doria picks up 5, as you said, Deuce.
Yeah.
3rd down and 17. It might be 18. For Ventura, if they were to pick up 10, they could probably attempt a field goal with Tristan Kantak. Peralta in the backfield again. Double coverage near side on Grossman. Smith looking that way. Up toward Grossman. Grossman looked like he was held. He was most certainly held on that route. The cornerback Cervantes did a nice job to, I think, disguise a little jersey grab, and Ventura has to punt away. That penalty was a drive killer, as it frequently can be. Did you see that little hold there, or was that just me?
I didn't see it, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't there.
I appreciate you showing that kind of faith.
Oh, they drew Oxnard offsides with the shift.
They only need 3 more of them, and then they have a first down.
There you go.
3rd and about 12. But do you rethink things here? Are you going to punt from the 29-yard line?
Punt from the 29.
That's where they'd be punting from. And now they bring the offense back out on the field.
That's a
It's like
field goal
it'll
attempt.
be
Yeah.
a field goal attempt. This is a long one for Kantak.
46.
They'll call it 47 in the building. I think you're right. It is 46. Sauerwein to hold. What about a fake for Ventura? Nope. They'll kick away, and this should come up just
short.
a bit short.
Oh.
It hits off the underside of the crossbar. Well, Ventura just missed it. needed another half yard, and it could have popped through. Kantak cannot hit the 46-yarder. The score remains 7-3. (17-7) last week for Ventura. They lost to Camarillo. 7-3. They trail Oxnard.
Yellow Jackets will take over. First down.
It's all very strange from this Ventura offense. Give to Caldera.
But, I mean, they should have gained some confidence with that series.
What did you like about the series?
Well, so what we talked before, there's a little bit more up-tempo. There was some confidence passes right at the line of scrimmage, some, pass and run.
Yeah, mixing it up a little bit.
Yep.
Peralta still struggling to run the ball at the breakneck pace he did through the first 4 games of the season, all 4 wins. Pagano keeps it. Look at the pitch to Caldera. Caldera in the open field. A Cougar tackler hauls him down the other side of midfield. Penalty flag down, I think, because Pagano pitched the ball forward beyond the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what the referee is pointing at, although it may end up going for a holding flag downfield.
Yeah, that's what it is, holding.
Circus play from Dalton Pagano again. So just like that thrilling play matters very little. 10-yard penalty, about 11 yards downfield. Actually, it was about 15 yards into the run. So 2nd and 5. It's a 5-yard gain, and they will replay the down.
Well, a net, you actually gain, you give them the gain. You're doing statistics.
5 yards.
No, you would give him 15.
You would give him 15. Okay. We'll give him
That's
one
why
there.
it's 2nd down.
Give him 1 there.
Around the right side, gain of about 4.
Yes, but if you have a holding penalty where the player runs for 70 yards and it's called back and you run it again, you don't give him any
It's
yards.
the spot of the foul.
Right.
He gains to the spot of the foul.
Okay.
That's
Learn something new every day, especially when you're with Derry. So you gave him 15 on your statistical
Yes, I did.
board. Okay. 3rd and 4. Right up the gut again, and
Nope.
there's somebody waiting.
defense.
Michael Lugo.
Defense played really well.
Remember how many times we mentioned Keenan Moran and Michael Lugo and Ventura's linebackers last week? How much have we talked about him this week? Carter Woodruff, they haven't done anything.
Well, I mean, there just hasn't been the passing attempts that, they were looking at Constantine drilling into the secondary.
But I expect a lot from this Cougar linebacking group, and I feel like they have to make
4th down.
They make the tackle at the right time for the line of scrimmage, and that's why Oxnard goes for it on 4th down and 2 here. They believe they can run the ball against this Ventura team. They go to Caldera, and it looks like it
He made it.
is good for a 1st down. What faith Mark Beckham has in his offensive line to just create some space. Sneaks through. 3 for 3 on 4th down now.
.31 rushing attempts already for Mr. Caldera.
Wow, what a figure. I don't think he'll hit the 54.
I don't think he hit the 54.
But he might hit 45. There's 32. And I've said this before, it seems like, over the past couple weeks when we talked about Ventura. And Mark Beckham would love to win this game 7-3 because it means he wins this game. He might actually do it, too. Halfway through the Third quarter nearly. Just for good measure, tell you that Blake Kilgore is the wideout on the far side. Spencer
Lonesome
Santiago on the near. Sorry.
Lonesome in. Oh,
And this
nice
time called
defensive play.
This time Caldera's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A 2-yard loss.
I'll bring up a third down for the Jackets.
So hard to see which Ventura players are the ones making the plays with these horrible white numbers. Sorry, go ahead.
Ventura's defense has really done a pretty good job on Caldera the second half. You had that one really good run, and after that they've kind of held them to a couple of yards, 2-3 at a.
3rd and 11. Let's see what they do here. Pagano keeping it on his own. And the Ventura linebackers really stepping up and making a couple plays on this series to force Oxnard. Now they've got to punt, right? There's no way they're going for it on 4th down and 7. Rhiannon Potke with a great comment about Mark Beckham always staying grounded. As much as spreads are the en vogue thing, he doesn't change who he is or what he wants to do offensively, that's for sure.
Old school. You know, he has a formula. What he do, success, and the kids.
Absolutely. Been such a tremendous coach over the years. And he has maintained that approach, stayed true to himself and his way of playing the game. Gotta love it. Calls that in. Cervantes, who's been all over the field defensively, makes the play on special teams. And the Cougars with good field position again. You have to think at some point they're going to break through.
Well, we saw some really good things in their first drive of the second half. And if they kind of continue that formula, they're going to put themselves in. I mean, they're just one play away from
taking the lead.
As we were saying all last night.
Just one play away.
Boy, that was almost intercepted. That.
Yeah, he just barely got it away to Tommy Grossman. Got to credit you. Grossman was the player you said you'd like to see get more involved here. And he has 3 catches in this second half, all for at least a half dozen yards.
He's a talent. I mean, obviously they're really keen against Sourwine.
And this time it's Peralta. Peralta spins ahead, and Peralta just pummeled again as he just barreled towards the
short of the
first down mark.
34 for the Cougars, Tyler Peralta. Stop just short of the first down.
Yeah, about a half-yard short, Deuce. You called that one.
Boy, it's just surprising that late in the third quarter he only has 9 carries.
Wow. What a telling statistic as far as how Ventura's rushing offense has gotten on in this game. They'll run it for the 10th time with Peralta, and this time he has a first down. Beyond the 45. Peralta, 1st and 10 Cougars. They've been inside the 30-yard line 3 times tonight. They've only come away with 3 points. Let's see if they can maneuver into that zone for a 4th time. Trailing by 4. And it's Peralta again. And Peralta ends up running into his own lineman. Still, we'll give him 5 yards, Derry. And now the run's starting to work for Peralta.
Yep. Well, they kind of opened it up with the sideline passes and got Oxnard to kind of respect the field horizontally.
Yeah, that's a great call. They've really forced this Oxnard team to guard on the edges as well. 2 yards on that gain. So if they're keying in on Sourwine and Grossman, who are staying on the far side and near, it opens things up for Tyler Peralta. Nice adjustments by Tim Garcia at the break. So does Ventura go back to the run on 3rd and 4? Yes, sir. Little counter for Peralta. Nice cutback. Tyler lands on his back. Yeah. I think he got right back up, though. Yes, he did. So here we go. Ventura at the 30-yard line again. Can they strike again, or will Oxnard be able to stem the onrushing Cougars? Quick throw, sideline. Tipped in the air and nearly intercepted.
Yeah, boy, that was directed right toward a Oxnard defender.
It looked like it was hit at the line of scrimmage, Derry.
It was.
And then as the linebacker, Jacob Fernandez, turned back towards the ball, it hit him too quickly, hit him on the inside of the arm.
Yep.
All right, 2nd and 10. Right side, Peralta. Stuffed again, couple yards, 3rd and 8. Figure Ventura will go back to the air, mixing the run and pass more in this second half. It is past 8:30, so we can confirm the game did not conclude at 8:30. 9:15, the very latest, although it should surely be done by then. Here's Tyler Smith. He'll hand off. Stretch play on 3rd and 8. 3 yards. Does Ventura try another field goal? Is the question. The last kick from 40 was no good. It hit off, I really want to say, the spot where the post meets the crossbar.
Yep, right at the elbow there.
And Ventura's elected to go for it on 4th and 6. Gross side. Right off the line of scrimmage is Chase Gardner. Watch for that little fly sweep. And it's a reverse. Grossman coming around the near side. Gets around the edge. Grossman with the first down and more. Huge play.
Boy, he was almost tackled behind the line of scrimmage and somehow escaped.
I don't know how he got away. But Grossman does, and the have a first down.
On a 4th down play.
One of the plays of the game for Grossman and the Cougars, but now they have to make it count. 1st and 10 from the 11. Peralta beyond the 5 and into the end zone. Ventura breaks through finally on this evening in Oxnard. 9-7 Cougars. It was keyed by the 4th down conversion. Tommy Grossman just evading his defender in this game of inches, and Ventura can make it a 3-point advantage.
Boy, Peralta, after being really having a tough first half, has really come on strong, especially this series.
I think that...
Well, they've got the momentum now.
They most certainly do, because Oxnard struggled running the ball. Penalties against Oxnard for encroachment. So Ventura will kick from the 1.5.
Or do they go for 2?
I don't think you go for 2 at this point. Boy, these games Ventura's been in the last couple of weeks.
Oxnard has only tried 1 field goal this year.
But what if it was the one? I think you kick the extra point. Look at you, living dangerous. You see?
Hey, you got things going. Why not?
Anthony and I we're rubbing off on you. Kantak puts that one through. Smart move, smart move. Oh, boy. 53 seconds left in the quarter, and Ventura leads Oxnard on the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel. My name is Danny Page. With me, the Deuce. Derry Eads, bonus football last night. What a night it was. I think we're all a little bit tuckered out from that one. That game was something.
Hey, Oxnard has only had the ball 6 plays in this quarter.
Let's see what they do when they get it back. I think for Oxnard, they need to get a couple first downs and reestablish that ground game. It was great to have all of you with us last night, and you were surely in the know talking about the game that high school football fans, as I noticed on Twitter, around the state were all watching. And if you like being in the know, subscribe to the Ventura County Star and discover what's happening in your neighborhood. At a price less than your daily cup of coffee, you can be informed and stay in the know. Sign up today, vcstar.com. Remember to follow us on Twitter at VCS Preps and VCS Preps on Facebook. I had a sports director from a local television outlet say to me that it was the best Twitter account in high school sports.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It is.
John Catalini and Rhiannon Pocky and Joe Curley and Bob Batita and Lauren Ledeen, they do a great job.
This ball will roll out of bounds. Nice field position coming for Oxnard. Although the Ventura sideline is saying an Oxnard player touched the ball, and I would tend to agree. They wave off the flag. So instead of good field position out at the 40, Oxnard has it inside their own 20. We'll be back with you next week. St. Bonaventure, Camarillo. Can the Scorpions pull off the big public school upset over the private school rivals? I think it's possible. Our first look at St. Bonaventure all year. I guess you don't have any thoughts on that one.
I don't know whether St. Bonaventure Camarillo have ever played.
Not that I can think of. When would they have? 80s? 70s?
Well, no, they would have played in the last decade.
They have not played in the last decade. Late flag comes in. You're saying they would have played in the last decade in the playoffs or regular season?
Maybe the playoffs.
I can tell you they didn't play in the playoffs. At least not from my memory. You know who would be great at finding this out? Rhiannon Potke. What's the word? Our key moderator. Kind of the statistician and executive producer. Penalties against Ventura. A late personal foul face mask. Came in right at the tail end of the play, at least from my point of view. As the player, Caldera, was going to ground, that hands Oxnard a cheap 20 yards.
Boy, that's just... Don't want to make mistakes like that.
Pagano keeps this one, and Ventura's linebackers are there again. This time it's Gooding. Brandon Gooding, 6'3", 205 soft.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
So 2nd and 10 for Oxnard. Perhaps they'll try to run one more play, or perhaps we'll head to the fourth quarter of play.
Boy, they just haven't really gotten anything going at all. The Ventura defense has just really stuck it to them so far in this quarter.
They will not get the play off. That will conclude the third quarter of play with the Ventura Cougars leading the Oxnard Yellow Jackets here on the VCS Preps game of the week. Hey, Deuce, one question, I think, just to hit on that point you brought up as far as Oxnard and Ventura's defense. It's easy for us to forget that Ventura's defense also created 2 turnovers inside the red zone against this Oxnard team. Oxnard should have gone up at least 10-3, 14-3, 17-3, something like that. And for Ventura's defense preserving the 4-point deficit, that's the reason why Ventura's in front at this point.
Yeah, they had the interception at the 11-yard line, and they had another interception when Oxnard was on about the 20, 21-yard line, and it returned about 20 yards downfield. Those 2 huge plays.
So this is the VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel. For all your vacation needs, visit your local Ventura County Auto Club office. Camarillo, Ventura, or visit AAA.com/travel. I want to give a big shout out to a couple of the men upstairs tonight. Yes, that would be Ralph Martinez, Ventura High School Viscom director for many years, and Dan Maxey, who continue to shoot all of these Ventura High School games for the team, and they build highlight videos as well. They've been doing it so many years. And Dan Maxey was my pre-calculus teacher. You can see what that did. But Ralph Martinez was my Viscom teacher, and we put Ventura High sports on television, a few broadcasts of Ventura High basketball, as I understood it, for the first time in a very long time. It was the first play-by-play I ever did as a 17-year-old kid. Pretty fun stuff. Here's Pagano. Pagano gets it away. That one's not going very far. A 6-yard loss on the completion, ultimately to Sanchez. Carter Woodruff on the tackle? Yes, sir.
Boy, he would throw that puppy away.
You throw it in the dirt, don't you?
Yep,
Right
yep.
in target on the screen pass. We see that so much at the game because the quarterbacks see it coming from a mile away. They just throw it to the player's feet. 3rd and 15 for Oxnard now. 37 seconds in to the fourth quarter. Here's Pagano. Long drop. Lot of time. Puts this one up. Had a man open on a corner route. Overthrew Barboza. And Pagano was hit hard on that one. He's slow to get up. The problem is Pagano's supposed to punt. And they may need to send a backup punter out there. He's leaning over. And it looks like he's going to try and punt on 4th down and 15. I know these young men never want to come out of the game, but this is kind of difficult. Also keep an eye. There have been a couple high snaps that he had to leap for. That's a perfect snap. Pagano gets the punt away and a nice one. Tough kid. This taken at the 30-yard line. Now beyond midfield is the Ventura return man. All the way down to the 25, 20, 55. Touchdown Cougars. Special team pays off big for Ventura. And they extend to 2 scores. 16-7 now. Cougars lead. And if only the numbers were not white on a white uniform, I could tell you who it was. Pretty sure it was Tommy Grossman. Yes, sir. 16-7 Cougars. Quite a return, Derry. It's the second punt return we've seen in as many nights, and this time it's Tommy Grossman.
Well, we kind of thought that he might be the guy to really kind of give this team a spark.
And he has done
he
so
has.
In the second half. Cantac looks to tack that one on. It's a little chip shot. It's good, 17-7 Ventura.
Yeah, Oxnard is kind of a position where it has to pass. It has to go to not its strength. I mean, they can't afford to get a run offense that is going to take up about 6 minutes off the clock.
This is where they get in tough positions, especially in the playoffs, because they know that throwing the football isn't their strength, and you're going to get behind in games.
Yep.
Just how it goes.
They only have 24 yards total offense in the second half.
It's really a tale of two halves.
Yep. For both teams.
Exactly. And the fact that Ventura was able to get 14 points in the second half and Oxnard only walked away with first after the first 24 minutes. That's why we find ourselves in this current position. It'll be interesting to see how Oxnard approaches things. Tim Garcia is running down to the opposite end of the field. He's all the way down at the 30-yard line. Something's cooking on the Ventura sideline. I'm going to tell you that much. Are they going for... Now he's all the way down at the 25. I think this kick will be angled to the sideline, and Garcia's standing there to see what the Oxnard player does. Do you see him? He's all the way down on this far side 25, wearing the white polo right at the edge of the coach's box. And that's exactly where the kick goes. There's a penalty flag.
All sides must be on.
What an odd kickoff. Cantac put that at exactly the right spot.
Yep.
I think Ventura will be forced to re-kick.
Legal procedure.
False start. Looks like they jumped. One player went early. Well, Garcia's going back to the same spot.
Well, the was talking to the kicker a little bit. They had a little conversation. Maybe it was something that the kicker did. Maybe he had a foot past the yard marker.
Wow.
Before he kicked it.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Can tackle try this again. See where this one goes. Garcia's in the same spot, just 5 yards further in front on the 30-yard line. And this is kicked away over the return man's head, although a really nice grab from Dunham. Dunham to the 25-30. And he sprints ahead toward the 40-yard line.
Good
nice
return.
starting field position. The Yellow Jackets are just a play away from pulling within a score and making this a game again. Dalton Pagano will come back out to lead the Jackets.
One thing the Ventura defense has done,
Ooh, a personal foul against Oxnard, though, 15 yards.
they've really kind of taken the option play, which was successful in the first half. They've kind of eliminated that as a threat.
It was largely successful, too.
Yes,
there were
it
only
was.
a couple times where Ventura slowed down the option. Boy, a personal foul against Oxnard. Type of mistakes you just can't make when you're trailing 17-7 in your own barn. Jacob Tinoco at the wide receiver spot at the top of your screen. Whether that screen is an iPad or your phone, computer. Great work from Ray Meese and the digital team to get us up and running. Here's that option. Pagano pushed forward as he picks up 4. Good work from those Cougar linebackers in the second half. Really the whole front 7. Alex Hurlbutt making a play or two here or there. Cole Houghton hasn't had the easiest day at defensive tackle. Javier Dominguez, number 90, who we see on the defensive line. Coach Garcia told me in a meeting last week that the bulb just went on for this young man. They never knew if he'd see the field, and he has gotten on the field, and it's fumbled. Oxnard comes up with it, and they absolutely needed to. Caldera, Johnny on the spot, but it's a 5-yard loss, and Oxnard now faces a 3rd down and 10. Inside of 10 minutes left.
Boy, it was kind of a really bad pitch that Caldera really never had a chance to grab it.
It's happened a couple times tonight for Dalton.
Boy, 3rd and 10 is not good for the Oxnard offense.
Pagano will throw to Caldera. Goes off his hands. 4th and 10. Things are rather different at this point, are they? Just 6 or 8 minutes ago in this game, as far as game time, Jerry, Oxnard was leading 7-3. It was 4th and 2 within their own 30, and they said, hey, we're going for it. And now forced to punt away again, trailing by 10 points. Football games can turn so quickly, as we've learned all season long, really. Pagano.
Nice punt.
Way up in the air, and Grossman's forced to call for a fair catch. No option to return here.
Good field position.
37-yard kick. Tell you one thing. I don't know if Pagano would be playing quarterback at the next level. He could be a punter.
Could be.
If he adds another 10 yards to his punt. Did you see the trajectory of that kick, too? He's a good punter. Might have to sign him up for the soccer team.
And he didn't kick straight ahead. He kind of kicked from the side a little bit. He angled it.
Quality stuff. The junior Pagano. It'll be interesting to see what he and Caldera can do next year. Peralta. Yeah, he gets about a yard. Did a whole lot of running and created a whole lot of contact. But more important for Ventura is Not that he picked up a yard, but that the clock continues to move.
Yep. The way you're looking at Oxnard has to get like 2 touchdowns. I mean, they're just not a field goal threat.
Number 34, Tyler Peralta.
3 yards
Flag,
for
late
Tyler
flag.
Peralta. Very
2
late.
late flags.
I didn't see any of that.
What? It's got to be something in the secondary. There must be a kind of a.
Just a shove, a late push. Oh, it's an elbow. We saw a ref make that motion that an arm was pushed up in the air. See what happens when the dust settles.
Against Ventura.
Personal foul against the Cougars. Marches them back. Both teams committing these personal fouls. At times they just didn't need to.
Well, it looks like there's been some a little bit of intensity for both teams. There's been some kind of talking down there.
It is a rivalry game. The oldest one in the area, as you said. It's 3rd and long for the Cougars. That penalty means that Oxnard has a great opportunity to get the football back. 3rd and 25. Smith steps throwing downfield, and it bounces in and out of the hands of Chase Gardner, and Ventura will punt. I think the Yellow Jackets could really use a quality return here. Put them in solid field position. I see Mark Beckham on the near sideline, sitting down, talking to his junior quarterback. He really loves this group of players. He's had so many great classes over the years. Coach Beckham. It's been a lot of fun to cover him. I know you have had many a conversation with he and his wife, Kathy, as well. She came to pay us a visit before the game, which was nice.
Yep. Been around a long time.
Who? You?
Mark Beckham.
I would think
I've been around a little bit longer than you.
I would think he came here to Oxnard right when you started working for the Star.
A little bit later, yeah.
A little bit after.
Wes Moramuni was the Oxnard coach when I got here.
What year did you arrive? 95, 96?
98.
98, okay. I always forget that, don't I? I'll make sure to update that on your Wikipedia page.
Do I have a Wikipedia page?
Oh, of course, right? And if you don't, we're going to have Joe Curley make you one.
That's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
You could have like a whole movie review
No,
section.
that's okay. That's fine. Life is good. Life is good.
Except for every Friday night with us in the fall.
Well, I like being around Anthony, bro. Anthony's really a good guy.
That's exactly.
We've had some good conversations.
So you enjoy these games, don't you? That's exactly what everybody says on staff. I love working the games. Anthony's great. 3rd and it says 5. Looks like about 3
I noticed you
to
avoid saying that you enjoy working with me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look at this pitch to Caldera. Hauled in one hand.
First down.
No, I think I always enjoy working with you, Deuce. You know, it's a good foil. You obviously have the, historic background. You've tracked the records in the county. You are a writer through and through. Your attention to detail. I'm just a talking head.
You know football.
Yep. Remember my JV career in Ventura before the season even started. It's great football Pagano can do after that big pickup on third down. Like Caldera might have been held a bit there. Second down and 10. Still 6:34 left. There's still time.
Yeah, but when you're only trying to gain 3 and 4 yards at a time, the clock is working against you. Got to try some little gimmick play or something to really some huge yardage here just to kind of give yourself a chance.
Is that done through the air? Is it done via the option? Apparently it's done through the air this time around. Spencer Santiago. That's a question I have for you. Why wouldn't Oxnard with Pagano go to screen passes more, at least the way Ventura has? Keep the defensive backs honest. And I'm saying not just tonight, but their scheme as a whole.
The things they've done in the past was to try to really get some play action and get somebody down deep.
Right.
They've been more of a vertical passing attack. You know, throw it out there 4 times a game and see whether you get something big. Roll the dice.
Give to the fullback on 3rd and 6. Goes for a yard, maybe yard and a half. Rhiannon is a huge upgrade over Danny's last partner. That was her. Rhiannon and I had fun doing games. Was that last year that you were gone for a few weeks at the start of the season?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago.
I think it was like about, it was 2012.
2 years ago. Here's 4th down and 4. Pagano on the option. Thrown to the ground. Huge play from the Cougars. Alex Hurlbutt, his head coach, sang his praises when I met with him a week ago, and Hurlbutt makes a play that really could and should clinch this contest for the Cougars. It's been all about the Ventura defense and the way that they've stepped Jerry.
Well, the offense has all of a sudden come really alive in the second half after.
I think the
really
defense,
for 15 plays they had only 26 yards on 15 plays outside of 2 really large gains. So we've seen more confidence in the second half than we saw in the last game and a half.
Positive signs for Ventura. Running to the left is Chase Gardner. Ventura is just a couple first downs away from closing out this contest. Just to take a look at what's coming up for these two schools. Obviously, they don't start league play for Ventura. They actually begin next week. And am I mistaken? Does Oxnard as well?
I would think so.
Yes, they do, actually. The 5-team league configurations, pardon me. Oxnard meets Rio Mesa next week. This season is just flying by. Januska carries for the first down. The chains move. The clock will continue to run, and the Cougars can close this one out. Oxnard's league campaign is an interesting one. It's home, away, away. Prefer to alternate in that regard. But Oxnard closes with Pacifica. Really, if they win their next 2 home games, you would imagine they're going to the playoffs.
Well, the way Rio Mesa's playing.
Busting through is Januska, pardon me, and he'll walk on into the end zone. Touchdown Cougars. Oxnard will fall to Ventura this week. They'll need to get back on the winning track next week. The second half was owned by Ventura as their offense came alive. How'd they do it?
As I'm about to say, Rio Mesa has played really well the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And, boy, this is Oxnard tonight. A
little bit
really
of trouble.
Bad second half offensively. It could be a close game.
And so, I think it'll certainly be a close game. That PAT is missed.
Wow.
23-7. So I suppose the problem with missing that PAT with 4:10 left is it is just a 2-touchdown game. 2 touchdown, 2 2-point conversions. And while that seems unlikely, it doesn't matter. It's still a 2-touchdown game.
Yes, it is.
It's not over yet. I won't let it be. Fair?
That's fair.
The VCS Preps Game of the Week presented by AAA Travel returns next week as the St. Bonaventure Seraphs take on the Camarillo Scorpions. The Pacifica Tritons have taken the lead.
Wow, big comeback, huh?
21-20. It was 22-7. They trailed at half, 21-20. Sherman Oaks Notre Dame leads Oaks Christian 28-24 with 11 minutes to play. That has been a back-and-forth battle. Oaks Christian is led. Notre Dame is tied. And this time, Oaks forced to settle for a field goal.
Well, they've got a freshman quarterback, so it's for them to do as well as they have, it's really says a lot for the future for the Oaks Christian program.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a rebuilding year. I don't think Bill Riddell would want to admit that, but you look at what Theo Howard's doing at Westlake. You look at what the Holmes boys are doing. And Oxnard will take this one. Dunham again. Left side, Dunham had a little seam and worked up to the 29-yard line.
And that's to go with all the guys that they lost to graduation.
Yes, exactly. Another, 7 scholarship players to graduation, something along those lines.
And they lost O coordinator, a defensive coordinator. Guys got head jobs.
Kind of starting over a little bit. And they're in the Marmoni League in the Pac-5. As I was saying for Oxnard, it's Rio Mesa, Channel Islands, and then at Wainimi, at Pacifica. We've seen this before in the Pacific View League, where the opening league game sometimes is the one that determines who goes to the playoffs.
And when you have a 5-team league, it's, one loss, then see ya.
Who would you favor in this league at this point? Pacifica, probably to win the league.
Yep. Well, it comes down to that, probably that last game of the season.
Oxnard and Pacifica.
Yeah.
I mean, what about next week's Oxnard Rio Mesa game? Is that your favorite then to go on and take the second playoff spot?
You would think. Yep. Definitely Wainimi Islands are struggling.
CI's been good in recent years. They just seem a little bit down this season.
Well, they finally got Otto back. He had missed like the first, I think, 3 games. And the last 2 games he's made a really big impact, and they've won a couple games.
They've won both games. They beat San Marcos, and then last night, Culver City. We'll know how it really is when they play Pacifica next week. 3rd down on the way for Oxnard. For Ventura, the league slate gets started in a strong way at Santa Barbara. Then home to San Marcos and DP on Halloween night, followed by a trip to Buena on the final day of the season. This one almost intercepted.
Yep.
Januska, who just scored a touchdown, almost added to his total. 2:48 left, 4th down, and Oxnard just going to punt away, and that will just about do it here. Is Ventura still your favorite for the Channel League? Should they sweep through the league play, or do you think Santa Barbara, with obviously a team, Santa Barbara is a team that's finding its identity after adding a new head coach and JT Stone so late in the preseason? What do you think about the Cougars in that respect?
I still say Ventura would be the favorite.
Do you think they'll sweep through the league?
That's my prediction. They'll finish the regular season 9-1.
Now, is this Derry making the prediction, or is this the Deuce? Is this 80% and over?
This is the Deuce.
Okay.
9-1.
Okay, gotcha. What's the
Why are you
lock?
trying to be difficult?
Just makes it a lot of fun. What is the locks winning percentage at this point?
It was 70% going to tonight. 10-6 last week. But I think he's going to do probably like 17-2 or something like that this week.
Really, 17-2.
Could go. I mean, I think he only will have 2 losses.
See, I can never tell if you want him to get to 80% or
would,
if you're just antagonizing him because you want to keep the higher all-time record.
I would like to see Lauren Ledeen pick them all. I'd like to see him go 16-0, 17-0, 18-0. It'd be great to get people talking.
17-2 this week? Depends what happens to Oaks Christian. Who did he take in that game? Do you recall?
I think he probably took
Oaks Christian.
Yeah.
Carry by Peralta is taken just beyond midfield, and that's first down for Ventura.
Number 34, Tyler Peralta, picks up a first down for the Cougars.
It wasn't the flashiest performance for Ventura, but it looks like they'll get the job done. Game of the week presented by AAA Travel. Ventura County Auto Club office guys, Ventura, Camarillo, Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley. AAA.com/travel. My family's been Auto Club members for 65 years now. At least that's what it says on my membership card. I would recommend you starting a similar tradition in your family. The travel site's great. I went on the travel site today and I checked out a trip from Santa Barbara to one of my favorite cities in the world, Dubrovnik, Croatia. Only $2,000 a person for 7 days. How do you like that?
Good for you. I like maybe just going through Port Hueneme, Oxnard.
Well, you're the one that's going to Panama.
I won't be driving. Be on a ship.
This includes to Dubrovnik, Croatia. What do you think? I'm driving to Croatia?
I'd like to see that.
How?
Start in New York City. See how far you get.
Long Island, actually. I'll just kind of take my Prius right off the Florida Keys Highway and see what happens from there down in Florida. Well, that's going to wind things down here, Deuce. You can check out highlights and our post-game analysis on the post-game extra. What conclusions did you draw from this one?
Well, I think we've seen some new life in the Ventura offense tonight in the second half, which has been really crucial to it. I think the quarterback has gotten a little bit of confidence back after last week, and that is the medicine they needed for the start of the Channel League season.
Absolutely. The offense woke up in the second half. Ventura able to score 20 points in the final 2 quarters of play as they go on to beat 3-7. Oxnard falls to 4-2 on the year. Ventura is now 5-1 as they go into Channel League play. Oxnard starts PVL play at home against Rio Mesa. Ventura 23, Oxnard 7. For my broadcast partner, Derry Eads, for producer, director, so much more, Anthony Placencia, for Rhiannon Potke, John Catalini, Ray Meese, and the entire digital team, and everyone back at the mothership. We thank you for your fine work, and it's been a pleasure being with you all each of these last 2 nights. We'll see you next week at Camarillo High School. St. Bonaventure takes on Camarillo. For the Deuce, I'm D. Page. Good night, guys.